the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, good morning. Thanks for joining us on DC News Now. I'm Randy Bass. We will jump into your top stories here in just a moment. First, we check in with meteorologist Jackie Layer looking at our forecast. Hey, Jackie.
Yeah, hey there. Good morning, Randy. Out there for the day today, another hot and humid one. We made it to the end of the week, and it was quite an active weather week, wasn't it? We did have severe weather on Wednesday. Now today, we do have a chance for some thunderstorms, a very low chance. So it's very hit or miss. Not everyone's going to be seeing those thunderstorms. Just be on the lookout for those, though, into the middle of the afternoon. Looking at that Friday planner, right around 4 p.m. is when we could see a couple of those popping up. And any thunderstorm could contain some heavier rainfall just because of how humid and how much moisture is in the air. But today, hot, humid, high temperatures right around 90. It's going to feel like we're into at least the upper 90s or right around the triple digits later on today when you factor in that humidity. But aside from when we could see that chance for the pop-up shower or storms, we should be seeing a mix of sun and clouds out there for your Friday afternoon. Looking ahead towards this weekend, you still want to stay weather aware for those outdoor plans. Still a chance for a few thunderstorms tomorrow. I think tomorrow is very similar to the day today. Sunday, so we're likely to see a bit more of those thunderstorms become a bit more scattered across the region. So I have more details on that and look ahead towards the rest of that 7-day coming up.
All right, Jackie, thanks so much. Take a look at this video showing an overturned tractor trailer causing big delays this morning on I-95 near Elk Ridge, Maryland. That's in Howard County, a few miles north of Laurel. Officials say to expect extended delays and closures in that area throughout the morning commute. Both northbound and southbound travel is being impacted. Also happening this morning, 2 people in the hospital after a serious crash in Silver Spring. These photos showing the aftermath of that crash along Georgia Avenue near the Beltway this morning happened around 5 a.m. Rescue crews say the crash involved 3 cars. 1 person was pinned and extricated from the car. Police tell us 2 people are hospitalized, have non-life-threatening injuries. Northbound travel lanes have reopened. Expect delays near the crash site. And early voting kicks off today in the district for the Ward 8 special election. Many are looking to fill former Councilmember Trayon White's seat, and that includes himself. Early voting begins today and goes through Election Day, Tuesday, July 15th. Although former Councilmember White is running to reclaim his council seat after he was expelled earlier this year, he was removed after a D.C. council investigation that found he violated city code and rules following his federal bribery indictment back in 2023. White pleaded not guilty and is set to go on trial in 2026. Before his expulsion, he did win re-election last November. And developing now, a federal judge will consider a request for Kilmar Abrego Garcia to be sent home to Maryland to await trial on human smuggling charges. That hearing resumed this morning. His attorneys argue if they release him from a Tennessee jail next week, the Trump administration says it could deport him again. A U.S. immigration official told the court that Mexico or South Sudan may be willing to accept him. Back in March, the White House admitted to mistakenly sending him to El Salvador's notorious prison, despite not having a criminal record, then refused to comply with a Supreme Court decision to facilitate his return. The Trump administration insists he's a dangerous gang member and finally brought Abrego Garcia back to the U.S. just to face human trafficking charges connected to a traffic stop in Tennessee back in 2022. His attorneys call the allegations preposterous and the Trump administration's attempt to justify their mistake.
Argue that Mr. Abrego Garcia has the right to meaningful notice and meaningful opportunity to be heard by an immigration judge prior to being put on any plane.
This story is developing. Please be sure to tune into DC News Now on air and online to keep up with the latest details. And developing now, remembering the lives of children and teens killed by gun violence in D.C., along with a call to action. The community is calling for change and answers after 2 young people were killed in the district the past week. 3-year-old Honesty Cheadle was shot as she got out of a car on South Capitol Hill. 17-year-old Zoe Kelly Hickman was killed on July 4th. Her family tells DC News Now she wanted to speak out at the vigil to get answers and justice and ensure other young people can live safely in D.C.
We're going to be honest with the youth here tonight and say we have failed you all. As elected city officials, we have failed you. We have forgotten the innocence of our youth. We have forgotten how precious the lives are of our youth. Not anymore.
The suspect who allegedly shot 3-year-old Honesty Cheadle has been identified as Charles Rucker. Police are still actively searching for him. In Maryland, Prince George's County Police say they've arrested a man in connection with a deadly shooting over the holiday weekend. Demarion Jones is accused of killing Jalen Livingston in Landover Sunday. They say the two men know each other. Jones is charged with first and second-degree murder. He's being held without bond. And a Maryland man pleading guilty to a drunken attack on a gate agent at Dulles Airport back in March. Prosecutors say Christopher Crittenden had multiple drinks and arrived at the gate angry about a delay and his seat assignment. When he was told he could not get on the plane, the 54-year-old punched the United Airlines agent in the face, knocking him unconscious. He now faces up to 10 years in prison when he's sentenced in October. Turning now to big changes for emergency services in Northern Virginia, Arlington County is investing $5 million to upgrade and relocate the Operations Center. The Emergency Operations Center, Public Safety Communications Team, and a new Situational Awareness Unit will all move into the Government Center this fall. ARLnow.com is reporting the 6th floor will get new technology, radio equipment, and a generator. Officials say the move will improve coordination during emergencies and offer space for collaboration and training. Construction is expected to take about a year. New video this morning shows a woman caught on camera keying a Tesla. Montgomery County Police say it happened at Walter Johnson High School in Bethesda Tuesday. If you have any information or might recognize the person in the video, police want to hear from you. Turning now to a massive display of grief in Central Texas as people there honor the more than 120 people killed during catastrophic flooding over the July 4th weekend. Dozens of people dead are children. First responders are still trying to determine who is among the 170 people still missing when the raging Guadalupe River overtook several communities there. The Texas governor saying crews will search for every last person, but rescue efforts are complicated due to the heat and overwhelming debris, including homes, cars, and trees. President Trump and the First Lady are set to visit the region today. The devastation in Texas has compelled people across the country to offer help. That includes a teen in Northern Virginia. He's raising money for families impacted by the floods to help them recover and rebuild. Our Ben Dennis has the story.
Fresh inside the family home after summer camp, Alex Thielman prepares to host a hike Saturday to raise money for the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund in Texas.
How awful, like how horrible. If you feel like you can't do much, there's still something you can do. You should go out and do it to the best of your ability.
The Gonzaga College high school students started Mercy Trails, a nonprofit that's been organizing hikes nationwide to give back, collecting backpacks full of school supplies in advance, as well as new coats and food donations.
We want to help teenagers to be empowered to help others in their community, whether that be the homeless or victims of flooding like it did in Texas, really anyone that is suffering.
Alex is among do-gooders in the DMV, continuing to help Texas flood victims. DC's World Central Kitchen continues feeding families, and 2 Swiftwater rescue teams in Virginia were deployed to the Lone Star State. Meantime, this Virginia team is hoping this hike will spur inspiration.
Hopefully to do the same whenever another tragedy happens, or to help, as I said before, people in that community like the homeless.
All right, that was our Ben Dennis reporting. What an incredible cause. There we go now to meteorologist Jackie Layer with a look at our forecast. Hey, Jackie.
Yeah, hey there, Randy. Out there for the day today is going to be another hot and humid one, so make sure you're staying cool, staying hydrated. We're also going to be looking at that chance for a few of those thunderstorms that could pop up. Very spotty, very hit or miss, so not everyone's going to be seeing those storms, but we're going to be seeing those temperatures rising right around 90 degrees this afternoon. Feels like temperatures could get close to or right around the triple digits, so again, heads up for later on today. By sunset, temperatures should slowly start to drop back down into those lower 80s and eventually back in the 70s overnight tonight. So let's get right to it with Futurecast showing you the timing of any of those spotty thunderstorms. Could see a couple of those back out towards our westernmost areas, back along parts of the I-81 corridor right around 3 p.m. But we could also see a couple of those right around the Beltway as well. But notice how very hit or miss these are. So again, not everyone's going to be seeing the shower or thunderstorm activity today. Now, as we get towards later on tonight, we should be seeing dry conditions overnight and into tomorrow morning. Starting off your Saturday dry, and then Saturday afternoon, very similar to the day today, where we're looking at some of those pop-up isolated thunderstorm chances for your Saturday afternoon as well. Sunday, though, higher chance for showers and thunderstorms. We're looking at those becoming a bit more scattered across the region for the second half of this upcoming weekend. So in terms of that forecast today through the weekend, today high temperatures right around 90. Will be hot and humid. Talking about some spotty thunderstorms. We're going with a 20% chance for today. 30% chance tomorrow. Isolated thunderstorm activity into the afternoon. And both days, any thunderstorm could contain those heavier downpours. We have a lot of humidity, a lot of moisture in the air, so we're looking at that chance too. Sunday, scattered thunderstorm chances into the afternoon as a cold front will be approaching from the north and west on Sunday. So out ahead of it, we do see those winds picking up mainly out of the south, pumping in more of that humidity and that heat for the second half of the weekend. So we're looking at some pockets of some steady to heavy rain at that later on into the afternoon and evening hours. Those break apart. Cold front continues to slide its way across the area Monday. That'll be providing us with more wet weather on the way for Monday. Then behind that cold front, we should be seeing drier conditions as we look ahead towards Tuesday. But Tuesday morning, with that cold front still close by, we still could be dealing with some showers mainly in the morning hours, and then we should dry things out later in the day. Excessive rainfall outlook for the day today, marginal across the area along with tomorrow as well. So like I mentioned, any thunderstorm could contain a heavy downpour. Now, excessive rainfall outlook for Sunday, we do have that slight risk, 2 out of 4 on that scale, meaning looking more so likely on Sunday that we could see the potential for some heavier downpours that day. Here's the rest of that 7-day outlook. More rain and storms on Monday with that cold front sliding through. We should be drying things out though, second half of the day Tuesday. Looking mainly dry Wednesday, but count that chance for a spot thunderstorm that day. An isolated thunderstorm chances Thursday, but overall high temperatures nearly seasonable. Upper 80s to right around 90 through that 7-day.
All right, Jackie, thank you. The attempted assassination of President Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania last year has led to the Secret Service suspending 6 agents. National correspondent Raquel Martin has the latest on what's driving that decision.
Following a lengthy investigation and a pretty heated congressional hearing that led to the resignation of the former Secret Service director, we're learning today that 6 Secret Service agents are now facing disciplinary action. This, of course, comes after a gunman opened fire on candidate Donald Trump. A source confirms 6 agents are suspended, quote, specifically for their actions on July 13th, 2024. That's when a bullet struck then candidate Trump when he delivered a campaign speech in Pennsylvania. The image of him rising from the ground wounded, now seared into American history. According to an internal investigation issued last year, the U.S. Secret Service found a communication gap and a lack of diligence led to the attempted assassination. A lone gunman was able to strike the president from a barnyard roof just about 500 feet away. Secret Service spotted and killed the gunman only after he opened fire into the crowd, killing 1 man. The new Secret Service director calls that day a failure and promised accountability. Former Secret Service agent Robert McDonald tells News Nation the security breakdown was a necessary wake-up call for the agency.
I think they've gotten the message. I think they've tightened up their supervisory capabilities. I think they're headed in the right direction.
In a statement, the Secret Service says, quote, the reforms made over the last year are just the beginning, and the agency will continue to assess its operations and make additional changes as needed.
The Secret Service says these suspensions could range from 10 to 42 days without benefits or pay. It's unclear if more suspensions could be on the way. Right now in Washington, Raquel Martin, back to you.
Raquel, thank you. A Senate committee going against the Trump administration's plans to keep the FBI headquarters in the district. The Appropriations Committee making sure the allocated funding goes only to the pre-selected site, which right now is Greenbelt, Maryland. It comes after a 15-year selection process, and the General Services Administration made that decision official. Then last week, President Trump announced the FBI would instead move down the street to the Ronald Reagan building.
I actually think this is a test for the subcommittee as to whether or not we're going to stand up to whatever executive branch it may be to support bipartisan congressional decisions. I do think this is about much more than the FBI building. I think this is a fundamental question about whether this committee is going to surrender its prerogatives and powers to the executive branch, whoever may be president at the time.
The FBI has been in desperate need of a new building. Its current location is crumbling and has been encased in netting to protect people walking by from falling debris. And a very good boy is back on the job at Dulles Airport after a few weeks of rest and recovery. We had the chance to check back in on Customs and Border Patrol K9 Freddie. He is back doing important work at the airport, sniffing out contraband. Last month, he discovered 100 pounds of food in a suitcase traveler was trying to smuggle into the country. When Freddie alerted his handler, the man kicked the 25-pound beagle, sending him airborne. The man pleaded guilty and was sent out of the country, while Freddie spent the past 2 weeks recovering.